Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. Idea about the video. So now if you want to join the rest of us in the main room, you can just say yes to being a panelist. But you can all just stay in the attendee room if you like. It's up to you. You can always message me. Okay. All right. Ready to go. All right. Let me share the screen here. Get into it. Get this up. Okay, everybody. So welcome to Getting Into Your Flow in Life, Divine Healing. I'm Nicolas Ngan, the Center for Conscious Ascension. I'm just going to say a bit more of the slightly formal stuff for the guys who are going to watch this very cold after we've done this live portion. Are you here to help the world? No matter how or what you've tried, you still feel left behind by life. So this free live group healing webinar is to gracefully accelerate the healing of abandonment and emotional blocks. So you can get to some of the good stuff, which is feeling more connected, stable, and secure with the flow of life. So I'm quite keen to find out why you guys are here, so we can shape this with our group intention to what you need from this, okay? So just go back to this here. So I'll say why I'm here. So I'm just outside London in England. I'm from New Zealand originally, and my mission is to help you guys come online with your mission and get in the flow of life. And I had quite a struggle myself over many years of trying to get in the flow. And then I learned divine healing, and that really cleared a lot of my deep unconscious ego programs too. So I did eventually get in the flow. And so this is to give you a taste of divine healing so you can clear some of those blockages so you can be in that flow much more of the time. It does take time and effort. So there is no magic wand. It doesn't happen overnight. But staying focused and present with what's there and doing your work, you will get there eventually. So I'd like to find out why you guys are here, because it's giving me a good feel. Just say where you are and what brought you here and what your intention is. So we're sort of setting group intention now, and then the webinar sort of flow depending on how that intention goes. So it's not just me just chatting away to you, it's a group. It's what we call a synergistic entity. It's a whole group process that we're doing. So if you'd like to share, just wave at me on the video, and then I'll call upon you and then we'll start, okay? So who wants to go first? Okay, Deb, you waving at me?
Yes, thank you. I'm very new to your work. I just recently purchased your book and kind of went on the website and did my chart. And so I'm from Connecticut, just so you know. I don't know why I have Deb on my screen. It should only be Deb, but anyway, I just have a lot of things going on, and I really am interested in having these things removed with ease and grace.
Okay. All right, we'll see what we can do. All right. Who's next? Who wants to share why they're here? You might have to talk to me. The system is actually running really slow. I'm just going to close a few other windows here just to see if I can speed this up.
Yes.
Thank you, Nicolas. I'm also relatively new to your work. I heard about you through someone that's already doing level 2 with you. I guess I fell out of flow, and I'm looking to get back into flow. So it's divine timing, and that's why I'm here today.
Okay. And where are you based, Mona?
I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa.
South Africa. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Who's next? You have to actually speak to me because the video's gone on frozen at my end. I can't see some of you guys at all. So switch your sound on and just say your name. Okay.
Hi, I'm Janaki. I'm from London. So I guess
Yeah.
I did a soul contract reading with Antigone in 2022, I think February time, and very supportive, very helpful. And I heard it again this year, which was very empowering. I guess during this light worker role has been incredibly challenging, and my concerns at the moment is remaining in personally trying to stay in the fifth dimensional state whilst trying to live in a community where there's lots of 3D, 4D behaviors of control, abuse, and kind of like drawing me backwards, which is really tough. So I was on my divine pathway and I feel it's kind of changed. I mean, it's fine, it will get better again. So yeah, and I guess it's like healing, healing what's happened, which I'm in the process of, and continuing to try and be a powerful manifestor, and yes, that's kind of the gist of it, really.
Okay, thank you. All right. Yeah, so who's next? You're actually all blank on my screen, but I can hear you. So you should switch your mic on and just say hi. Okay.
Hi,
I won't
I'm
see you waving at the moment. The way this.
Yeah, am I audible?
Hi. Yes, totally.
Okay, great.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I'm Arunima actually, and I'm from India, and I've been into spirituality for 2 to 3 years, and a lot of spiritual awakening and even Kundalini awakening things happened, and there are number of things that I am able to do, but I want to know my sole purpose, that exclusive reason why I'm here. So 2-3 months ago, I got hold of your book, and I made my own map and things like that. But I was wanting to dig deeper and understand my sole purpose, like why am I here? What am I here to do, and how to help, like level up the consciousness and things like that. That's it.
So this is mainly a divine healing webinar. It's not so much on the soul contract, just so you're aware of that. Okay. But we do have webinars for that as well. All right. Okay. Thank you, Arunima. Who's next? Just switch your mic on because I'm just seeing blank screens at the moment. The way what's happening here.
I'm Shannon. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Shannon.
Yep. Hi. And
Okay, so go for it.
Okay. I had a soul reading just this week and really resonated with a lot of it in my soul purpose here to be a light worker and do my thing. And but I'm definitely not in flow. I have this resistance to actually putting myself out there and making any money. So I would love to clear that and get back in flow with doing my soul work and being able to support myself financially.
Okay, we can look at that. Actually, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to pause the webinar and reboot this computer because clearly something's got a bit stuck in the memory. So what I want you to do, if you give me about 5 minutes, is just pause there. I'm going to pause the recording, and then I can see you all because it's very hard to connect with you. Okay, so if you just bear with me, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay, sorry about this, but I need to see you so I can connect. So I'm just going to switch the webinar host to my backup computer here. So hang on. Back in a minute, 5 minutes.
Janica, I loved you playing with your dog. I've
Well, now I can see you. I can get it with you. Okay. Who's next? Check in. Okay, Avia and then Heidi. Hasn't unmuted yet. That's it.
There you
Right.
go. Sorry, Avia. I'm in the Channel Islands in Guernsey, and last year was very enthusiastically giving readings, having done the soul contract and started with the divine healing as well, and got quite depressed over Christmas and very much retreated into myself and haven't done anything really since the beginning of the year. And I just felt that this was very appropriate when it popped up, that I obviously am still got some blocks going on. So I thought I needed a bit of help. So here I am. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Thank you. Right, Heidi.
Hi, I'm commonly known as Heidi, but I've just had my name optimized and it's Heidi Arsetani Kumhalam. I've done level 3 soul contract reading with Nicolas. I've been lucky enough to receive a level 3 divine healing from one of my colleagues on one of the courses as part of the emotional healing I'm doing on myself as well. And although I don't want to train to be a divine healer, I need to understand it better so that if I'm referring, this is one of the many things that I might refer my potential clients, I need to understand it better. And I'm quite up for getting a little bit of free healing today as well.
Okay, thank you. All right, who's next? Okay, Maria, is the house warm?
I knew you were going to ask that, Nicholas. Just look at me.
Oh,
Still not. It's interesting, you know, how animals, hello everybody, how animals mirror us. I have that beautiful monarch butterfly. It's very sunny here, freezing outside. And he woke up and flying around trying to get out. And of course, he might die in here, but he'll certainly die outside. And I realized today I'm like that monarch butterfly trying to settle down, having moved a year ago to another stone-walled house and freezing all the time and not being able to get much done, to be honest, not in the flow at all, and just so frustrated.
okay. So
Get
we can,
spells of such rage that I could just smash everything like today.
okay. Thank
So
you.
lovely to see you again. So I must come today.
All right, Katie.
Hi, everybody. I am coming to you from Panama City, Panama. And Maria, I will send you some of this warm air. I wish I had some of that cold air, to be honest. I'm a little one of those weird people that likes the snow and cold. And hi, Nicholas. I'm here today because I am very much into your programs. I'm going to be doing your training next week. Going to be doing the divine healing. So I'm here to get as much healing as possible. Today, I'm kind of going to mirror Shannon a little bit because I am trying to launch a business, and it will be doing soul contract readings. So I've kind of used the excuse, I'm putting it off till I finish your course. But now I'm realizing that the end of March is coming. And so I got to get my butt in gear and I have to really get out there. So I'm having a little bit of, you know, procrastination, excuses, and fear coming up. And the other thing that's coming up for me with the fear is feeling unsafe with the energies that are coming in this month, the Ascension event, whatever you want to call it. I am having some fear around that, and fear of change, fear of the unknown, But unsafety keeps coming up. So that's why I'm here. No pressure though.
Okay. No pressure, Katie. Thank you. This is called life. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else would like to go? And I think everyone's gone. Anita, you haven't said anything. Now I can see everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm from Poland. My name is Aneta. I had my soul contract reading a few weeks ago. I am also during my light body integration process, and I think I would like to attend divine healing level first one. And it's really nice to meet you, Nicolas, because I work with Natalia Skawinska also. So I know this modality, and I think this is a beautiful work. And I'm quite interested what can happen today. I feel a little bit stuck at the moment, truly speaking, and I would like to know for myself what to do next in my life. And that's it.
What would you like to? What would you like in your life? I didn't quite catch that.
I would like to work with women in a healing process. Okay. Yes, and yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you. All right, Josephine, do you want to say anything? You're still in the attendee room, or maybe you're at work. I'm not sure. Or putting something in the chat. Otherwise, we'll get underway. No response. Might be at work. Okay. So you guys sound like you want to get on with business, with life. So let's do that. So let me. Everyone's checked in, haven't they? I think yes. Yeah, everyone is. Okay. So let us share the screen and get into it. And put this one up. I want to share a little bit of a model of what's going on here. Okay. Okay. So just moving your webcams around a bit so I can see you all. Okay. Yeah, it's going to work. All right. Feel free to ask questions at any time. Just give me a big airport wave simply because your webcams are quite small now. So let's start. You are here. Okay. You are in the third dimension in your little earth suit that was created by your soul. That is the spark of the divine from source. And this is the 12th dimension. And source created us with an out-breath of itself. It expanded its consciousness because it wanted to know more about itself. It had spent a long time thinking about itself, but it thought, I need to experience myself. So it densified itself gradually through the dimensions like 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, all the way into the 5th, 4th, and the 3rd dimension, till parts of itself, our souls, forgot this is where we came from. Because the ultimate source of flow is from source. It doesn't come from this reality here. This is like a big 3-dimensional movie screen. That's the matrix, basically. And anything that happens in here comes from a projection of energy from the high dimensions. So the key to manifesting anything here is not to try and get it from within this reality, because you might have noticed that's quite frustrating, but to tap into the high dimensional part of you and bring the flow from the high dimensions into you in this body, and to bring it through you and then out in the reality, and then the matrix will rearrange around it and produce the flow you desire, getting your businesses started, getting unstuck, whatever it is. That's sort of a core principle here of what we're dealing with. And what happens is that we get stuck because there's a barrier here to the flow coming. There's an interference level, this red line of interference zone, which is filled with astral beings who are trying to stop us getting to the flow. Because if you we're completely connected to this, then what will happen is that the flow will come a lot more easily. And your soul set this up so you could be as separate from God as possible, to see if you could wake up and connect in consciousness to source, and eventually ascend physically, raise the frequency of your body to eventually you would transcend these dimensions, get back to source, which is a long journey. So we need to open up a pathway, which is what we're going to do today, to break through here and start to access some of this. Okay. Now, how do we do that? Well, you are also here. I didn't realize it, but you're an onion as well. Okay. Red one. This is the ego onion we all carry, which is created by our soul, this flame of consciousness, and it's created out of your soul contract. And there's many layers of our ego onion here that creates an ego filter on how we experience reality, and you each experience in your own unique way, depending on your soul contract. And what we do with divine healing is that we peel this onion layer by layer in the right order, and as gracefully as possible. And the idea is to eventually, through life, the process of life, through the process of working through our karma, to peel this onion so you get back to the original love that you are. And the more you peel that onion, the more access you have to the flow, because these layers of onion which prevent it coming to you. All these onion programs. So it's all there, just that we're in our own way. So the key to bringing the flow is to dive into the mud of life, all our karmic separation, and grow lotuses. The thing our ego doesn't want to do, to go into the emotional pain, the darkness of our subconscious, all the programs we have, and bring consciousness to it. Because this model here we use is basically everything is one, just in different forms. And in becoming the separate from God, we plunge into the mud and unconsciousness of life. And by bringing consciousness to it, we can, in transmuting the mud, we create beautiful things, our gifts of service. So, being born results in 3 primary separation programs that all humans have. Because we separate from God in 3 different ways. When we pop out of our mothers, we feel abandoned by God. You feel unworthy to be loved by God. And we mistrust God in some unique combination that makes up your ego. And because we feel separate from source up here, that means the flow doesn't come. Because if you were completely feeling connected to God, worthy of God's love and trust of God, things will be there instantly. A bit like Christ in the Bible, just manifesting things literally out of thin air. So in divine healing, we work with these axes to actually clear these. That's the most important thing you can do for your personal journey. And for those of you trying to roll businesses out in the world, the business is an external holographic mirror of your internal journey. So you can only develop your business as far as you've gone. So if you're feeling stuck in getting your business out there, you've got to unstick what's inside you first. Doesn't matter how much experience you have or what you're doing in the outer world. If it's stuck in you, it's going to stay stuck outside no matter what. So the key is to clear what's in you. Then your business will happen. Obviously, you've got to run your business properly as well. So how do we go about doing that? Because the ego is not so keen on any of what I've just described, because it wants to keep you stuck. So what it does is the following. Most people have their ego, it avoids dealing with their issues. We numb out, we have addictions, we just don't get distracted, we just don't do stuff. As you become more conscious, the ego tends to judge up the programs it's set up, paradoxically, and it feels bad about them, and that locks the programs in. Or there's a much more interesting third way or middle way, where we bring our consciousness to feel the program when the ego doesn't like emotional pain. But we do the opposite of what it wants to do. You feel and resonate and own the program. Okay? Are you waving at me? Arunima, is that a wave or no? Okay. All right. So we bring feeling consciousness to the program somewhere, wherever it is sitting in the body. This is the last thing ego wants you to do. And we find the origin of where it comes from. It could be from this life, could be from earlier this life, could be another lifetime, could be from all sorts of places. So what we're doing is bringing consciousness to the program in order to clear it. So how does that process work? Well, first off, you guys have turned up, so you clearly have the willingness, desire, and courage to work on whatever issues are blocking you. So this is the issue. This could be the stuckness that some of you described, or block to the flow, whatever it is. And so what we do is, with our intention, is we bring feeling consciousness to the issue, because what you feel, you can heal. And this is your feeling consciousness here, breathing into the body, into whatever part carries that program. And what we do is that we expand our feeling consciousness to feel it all, which is going to be a pretty strange thing to do. It took me years to be able to do this. Our mirror, Ariel Halle, who developed Divine Healing, she first took the first class in 2006 when we were running this business together. I still remember that day. It was really powerful. We had about 18 people doing this process here and really transforming themselves. So we maximize our feeling consciousness of the program. Then all our soul wants us to do is to feel it, just even for a microsecond. The ego is always scared of feeling anything, especially negative emotions. But when you get down to it, it's not that bad after all. And feeling this, the separation, and then we clear it. And in Divine Healing, we align to the higher self, and it built you, so it knows exactly how to take things out. It knows how to the order to peel your ego. And so we feel it, and we command the higher self, because we are a spark of God, spark of the divine, even though you may not believe that, you feel that on a bad day. And we ask higher self to take it out, and it does. And so we're going to do some of that a little bit later, or quite shortly. So the ego's onto this. It's not keen on us doing this, so it puts up a barrier of frozenness, so we numb out our feelings. So we need to break through this, which is what we can do in a group. That's why we do this in groups. It's much more powerful. And as we do that, we take this feeling conscious, we break through the ego's defenses gracefully and move our feeling consciousness into the program, so of stuckness. Expand out, and then once we felt enough of it, we command the higher self to clear it, and then it's gone. That layer's gone. So this is what we're actually doing. Our little ego here thinks it's in charge when we first wake up. It thinks it knows everything. It's more powerful than God. Actually, it doesn't know anything, and it's definitely not more powerful than God. As you grow in consciousness, it expands, your awareness expands, but initially, we're on the path of suffering, as the Buddha says, this dotted line here, following the fear-based ego. Because it's looking in the rear mirror, trying to prevent all these things that happened in the past from happening again. So it's pretty miserable for a lot of people. So what Divine Healing does is it progressively and rapidly clears the ego, and you move to a new place. You move to following what we call the spiritual signature. This is the path of getting into the flow of your life. And the spiritual signature means in each moment, there's one right action that opens your heart the most. And the soul's using that feeling in your body to tell you what's the next right action. So rather than following the fear-based ego mind here, we follow what opens our heart. And if you do that in each moment in life, life opens and flows. And the reason it doesn't flow is because if you're following the ego, the little ego here, is that you're not following the flow of spirit. So therefore, that's why lots of barriers turn up. Because the journey of this life is to learn to move from here, following the path of suffering, to the path of getting into your flow, or the path of bliss. And so what happens is that as we become aware of this, we start to converge on the spiritual flow of the spiritual signature. And eventually you are on it pretty much all the time. In each moment, you're just waiting to know what's the next step to do. And life opens and flows personally and in business. And so divine healing is a tool to expand your consciousness so you can make this shift and have a different life, completely different life. What happens as you clear yourself, well, the process of clearing yourself addresses this issue. We have lots of these emotional blockages like abandonment, the unworthiness, lack of trust, and they basically form as energy cysts in your body, and they steal your life force because we have to give it a lot of life force to hold these programs in place, because the ego doesn't want to let it go because it's fearful of the pain of letting it go. So we get low energy, pain, limitation, and only we have maybe a third of our energy. Is what the diagram is showing. So what happens with divine healing is that we're going to do this. We are going to bring feeling consciousness to all these programs and gradually dissolve them. We free up our life force. And the more life force we have, the more flow we have. So nothing's gone wrong with your lives, anyone's life. They are perfect as they are. It's a question of what do you do from where you are with the tools that the universe provides you. I mean, you're all here for a reason. You found one of the most cutting-edge healing tools on earth. I mean, this can clear stuff, and you can't even remember what you cleared. You just feel a lot better, and you have a lot more energy. It's just gone. That's how powerful this is. And divine healing was designed to get you back to source and consciousness, because everything that can be learned on the earth plane has been learned. Source has had a massive experience of feeling this separate from itself. Now wants to take all that memory and experience back to the higher dimensions, ultimately to the 12th dimension. And so this healing technology comes from Source. It comes from many groups of beings who answered a call, because Almira and I said, well, we need a really powerful tool to clear our karma, which is very heavy duty. And this was the answer we got. And Almira worked with two other friends of ours, Mary and Roshan, to channel us through. They'd spent about a year channeling the level 1 of this training. There's 5 levels now. And it came from extraterrestrials, angelics, ascended masters, all sorts of beings contribute to bringing this gift of love to Earth so that we could ascend rapidly. Okay, Katie?
Okay, so I have a question.
Go for it.
I've been doing this healing stuff, different modalities for years and years. And
Yep.
I get to a certain point, it's like putting a Band-Aid on, and then all of a sudden the Band-Aid gets ripped off. So my question is, yes, with these clearings, they're great, but why am I not seeing it externalizing these great clearings and shifts that I have? Why am I not seeing the abundance, the prosperity, the love, whatever, in a maybe bigger way? Am I saying that clearly?
Yeah, very clear. So, because our ego onions are very deep, many layers, which are interlocking, and it's designed to prevent you from getting to the very thing you desire, to see if you can work out through the process of life how to get back to God. So we always have to work up against something. So nothing has gone wrong for any of you. It's just the way God designs it. If you didn't have this challenge, it wouldn't get your attention. And God wants to have, through the spark of it within you, the soul, the visceral experience of feeling this separate and this out, this stuck, not in the flow, to be in total flow and completely unstuck. And the ego is designed as a very complex construct. It's not going to give up easily. So you got to dismantle all the different interlocking programs, which is what divine healing does to get to where you want. So it just means that they're back. So if you only clear a superficial layer of a program, it'll rebuild itself. So basically, all the components of a program, many layers of it, interlocking layers, have to be removed for a permanent change to occur. That's the reason.
Oh boy, I don't have, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, so that's a little discouraging, I'll be honest.
Well, not really. I'm just explaining why.
Yeah,
you have a tool here which is going to give you the how. As provided you use it, diligently and work on yourself, and prepare to look at some of the darkness in the ego, you get there eventually. But it's the journey. That journey is what the soul wants to go. It wants to go from being this separate and stuck to completely in the flow. It's not actually the end point that matters. The soul has the process of life. It's the reason you're alive, is to have an experience of going from one, we call it a negative state or a separate state, to a reunified state. That's the purpose of why you incarnated. So there's no other life you were meant to live. None of you were meant to live another life. This is the one you're meant to live. It's a question of using the tools you have, and you just happen to manifest this one. So it's telling me you guys are meant to do the business, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Okay. So there's hope, Katie. I thought I'd be stuck forever, but I'm not anymore. So I went from barely making a living, in a lot of debt, to now having a global teaching business, or multiple businesses. It took time. It's taken 16 years, but I've completely changed using this tool. At least 2 or 3 times a week, and my life progressively got better, but it took time.
Thank
Maria.
you.
But how much of it of your change was divine healing, and how much was your name optimization? Because I've been looking.
It was both.
Both, because I've been looking at my spiritual karma 21-3. Well, this is it. I know it's not a soul contract, but
yeah,
what's playing up in my life.
Yeah. So for those of you not familiar with that term, name optimization is where you choose a name, where you access the name on the soul, which is going to burn through your karma much faster and all the issues in your soul contract, and you manifest the true mission of what you're here to do. That's what name optimization is. So it's an art form which we teach in soul contract reading in level 2, but it can completely change your life, can't it, Heidi?
Yeah, I've got 21-3 in karmic, and I've got 12 3s and 14 5s, and all the numbers they say don't have in your chart. My soul wanted me to have them this time, so I'm 57 now, so I've kind of worked through a lot of that stuff, and I'm happy to change my name now.
Yeah, technically we call it a crap chart. That's what we call it. That's a proper technical term, a bad one. It's a really bad one. Okay, but there's always a way through, and that's the other way. So you create a new reality with a new name, and then you clear with divine healing the stuff which is going to trigger as a result of setting a new course altogether. So Katie, there is hope. Okay, it can be done. It all depends on how determined you are. Now, I have a feeling you're pretty determined, or you wouldn't be here. So, any other questions so far? Everyone okay with that? All right. So let's get back to, let's go and have an experience of this, shall we? So we are going to go to have a direct experience now. I've given you the essential structure of what it is. Now we're going to have a direct experience of divine healing, and we're going to do a few of the charts in the divine healing manual level 1. And there are 26 charts, and I'm going to pull off a few of them which are going to help us move forward here. Okay, so what I want you to do is close your eyes. And if you're feeling stuck, which a lot of you are from what you said to me, I want you to let go your focus on the stuckness and all the things which are not working. Because this is by the law of attraction, the matrix will create what you focus on. And it's natural as humans, our ego will want to focus on everything that's not working. And that's why you keep getting more of it. This is actually a completely counterintuitive thing to do, to not focus on it, because we've done it our whole lives. I did it from up to my mid-40s. And I want you to focus on the final state of being as if you are in the flow. For you, your businesses are running. For those of you who want to get your businesses running, your life is working properly. And don't worry about how you're going to get there. Remember, you are God. You just forgot. So you are the creator. Well, therefore, that means that you can create whatever you like, okay, eventually. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on where you want to go. Don't hold back. Final state of being. And I want you to feel in your heart, visualize it and feel in your heart, what it would be like to be in that flow. Businesses are running successfully, you're delivering your gift of service, or however it is. What we're going to do here is that we are going to trigger all the hidden programs in your ego, which are preventing you manifesting that. We're sort of going to ambush them, really. And then we're going to clear them. And they're going to stay hidden until there's no choice but to try and stop you, which is what we're doing right now. I want you to breathe through your mouth. That's very important. So you're staying in your body and feel what it's like. It could be joy, relief, ecstasy, whatever it is, to be in that place of the flow that is optimal for you. I'm going to do the same with you. Feel all those positive emotions. It raises your frequency. Just be present with whatever feelings come up. Everything is welcome. And I'm going to punch a hole through that red line of astral beings, the lower end of the astral plane that's stopping you getting to God. And the first things we're going to remove are earthbound souls. And I'll do this quietly, and I want you just to breathe and be present and see how you feel, because a whole bunch of energy or beings are going to leave your body in fields. It may feel a bit strange. If you want to burp or yawn, it's fine. You're going to clear a lot of negative energy out. So here we go. Earthbound souls are beings who have left a physical body and hanging out with you because you've got the same programs and their personality and body had when they're when they're on board. What do you want after that? And so these beings have been taken, a tunnel of light up to the astral plane. They're being removed from you. Now we're going to clear extraterrestrial presences. Nothing to worry about. These are beings. Sorry about that. These are beings who are observing us because they're very interested in these very complex, extreme, polarized emotions we have on Earth. That's why they observe us, but they are affecting us adversely. I'm going to clear these guys out now. And keep staying focused on that state of flow you're in. Now we're going to release the rest of these beings in that red band on the astral plane, lower end of the astral plane. We're going to release discarnates, entities, and attachments. That's the rest of them. These beings are being taken away now to feel the shift. Let me say thank you for that. Left. Be aware of how you're feeling now. I feel a bit lighter. Now I want you to bring feeling consciousness, bring that big sky blue, sparky energy of your feeling consciousness into whatever feelings are in your body that have come up from the ego as a result of focusing on the final state of being in flow. It can be sadness, frustration, could just be the stuckness itself, could be unworthiness, whatever it is. So breathe through your mouth into wherever that feeling is in your body. Could be anywhere in your body. And this is bringing consciousness to it. Breathing through the mouth keeps you in the body. Breathing through the nose, which ego will always want to do, will keep you in the head, which is not much use to us here. And just become conscious of how that program, this main low frequency program, operates in your life. So it's okay, just important not to judge yourself, just be present with it. It just is. It's just a part of God that's holding you separate from God. And don't go into the big story about it. Just feel it and be aware of whatever comes up. You might feel a bit sad. I feel a bit sad actually with this. And become aware of the original time where this comes from. It could be a past life. It could be earlier in this lifetime. It could be from a parallel life. Another part of you is doing something else. It could be preconception before you were born. You've got lots of things in place at that time. It could be at the conception point itself. Might be when you're in utero. It could be when you're born. Might be coming from your ancestors. Okay. Could be from the time, from the point of creation. Just allow your consciousness to go to wherever that is. You don't have to understand it, just be conscious. Your higher self will show you. Now breathe deeper and sink deeper into that low frequency program, that red ball of energy. And open to all aspects of this feeling. Become aware of the ego's attachment to holding on to this negative frequency program. I'm aware of any feelings of being bad for having it. I'm an evolved like I shouldn't have this feeling still in me. You become aware of any judgment ego has around it. Ego is very judgmental. I'm a Virgo, I know. The more you can open to it, the more it can integrate and heal. So keep breathing into it, because what we're going to do now is we're going to command Saint Germain to help us clear that main low frequency program. Okay. Keep breathing into it. We'll trigger it and have a look on the screen here. So these are called command codes. This is the command code for main low frequency programs in the Divine Healing Level 1 manual. These are not just words. This is you as a spark of the divine. It's God commanding something to happen. So you just speak that way. Think about your kids. If you don't speak in a commanding manner to your teenager, nothing's going to happen. You know, it's basically the commanding parent voice for you parents here. You got to really mean it. Then the universe will listen. And so it's not just words that the mental body want to rattle off as fast as it can. Be present with each word as you say it. And we're going to pause here. When I put P up, you're going to pause after each one to allow that command code to actually manifest, for the universe to manifest it, okay? All right. So switch your microphones on. We're going to say this together. It's very powerful when we do this as a group. Just staying present with that, whatever feeling is in you. We're going to start with that slowly. We'll say it all together, the first paragraph only, okay? With me, we command Saint Germain.
We command
Purple flame through the aura
to
and subtle
purple
body.
flame
purple
Burn
flame
away
through the
all
aura and
that
subtle
energy,
Subtle bodies.
burn
burn
away
away
all low
all
frequency
low frequency
energies
level
we
vibration,
have discovered
that we have
so that
discovered
newer,
so that
higher level
new higher level
vibrations
vibrations
be accessed,
New higher
accepted,
level
and
vibrations
encoded.
can be accessed, accepted, and encoded.
Okay, just feel the shift. Okay, the energy is going to start moving because you asked Saint Germain to do that. It's about asking, you shall receive divine healing. You may feel this bubble of red separation start to begin to disintegrate and dissolve. And I feel a bit lighter already. So we're going to do this next one now, and we'll pause after each bit. Repeat with me. Saint Germain and higher
Saint
self.
Germain and higher
Saint
self,
Germain and
Burn out
higher
in one
self.
go.
burn
Please
out
burn
in
out
one
in
go.
one go.
one go.
100% the core issue.
100% the core
100%
issue
the
through
core
all
issue
levels
through
and
all levels
dimensions.
and dimensions.
So let that happen. Energy sort of goes busy, and then it sort of calms down. We'll do the next one. 100% the original
100% the original cause
Cause
for all levels
and dimensions.
My vision's going to get clearer. 100% the source of power.
100% the source of its power through all levels and
Through all levels
dimensions.
and dimensions.
100% all energy attached.
100% all energy attached through all
Attached to all
levels and
levels and
dimensions.
dimensions.
100% all of its effects.
100% all of its
And of all its
effects
effects
at all
through
levels.
all levels and dimensions.
dimensions.
Okay, so we let that shift. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit lighter. Let me say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The reason for that is gratitude is a thank you. Once it's finished, it opens up a pathway directly through the astral plane all the way to source. And that's when grace descends. That's when miracles happen. That's when things start to turn up. But you got to really say it as if you mean it, not just a cursory thank you, which is what we normally do. Okay, then we feel the shift. Okay. All right. Just want to check how you guys are feeling. That integrate. So who would like to share how they're feeling after those two charts? Anyone? Okay, Katie.
I could feel the release. And before, I think it was about fear again and the unsafety, and
Yeah.
felt it really strongly in my solar plexus. And while we were doing the verbiage, I felt buzzing in my feet, as well as kind of a lightheadedness kind of passed through me. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, the buzziness is the energy release from the cells as the program left your body. That's all the energy that was holding the program in your body, releasing. So it's becoming freed up now for you to use for more useful things like manifesting what you desire, creating more flow. Okay.
Getting that business going.
Yep, takes time, but you'll get there. So who else would like to share? I'm just doing this sharing so you've got a bit of time to integrate that before we do more charts. Okay, Maria, and then we have Deb.
At the beginning, I felt pressure on my eyes, and then I could see myself like the blindfold, like, you know, you're playing that game hide and seek.
Yeah.
And now I can see much better. And it's around the solar plexus also, I feel much lighter.
Okay, good. Good. Come into your power. Deb, and then we'll have Arunima after Deb.
Yeah, that was really something. I felt a release almost right away. I felt very, very light, and I felt myself vibrating a little bit. And at the end, I felt like this, like that dizziness almost, something just leaving me.
Yeah, that's some of the programming leaving. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Arunima?
Yeah, I generally vibrate when I'm meditating, but I was not vibrating. On the contrary, I went quite deep down, and I'm perspiring right now.
Yeah, you got a big energy release. That's what's happening. It's freed energy coming out of your body.
Yeah,
Holding that program that vibrated out of you.
thank you so much.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share how that was?
I feel a lot lighter now, actually. I think there was a lot of pressure in my head and in my stomach. And during the process, when we had our eyes shut, yeah, I felt my right foot tingling and just everything lessening, actually.
Yeah.
I feel, yeah, a lot has cleared.
Yeah, good. Time to move forward, Yannicki. That's what's going to happen. All right. Josephine, are you going to say something? You switch your microphone on.
Okay, I've lost you here now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Lovely. I'm so sorry I'm not on camera. I have workmen sort of walking through from time to time, so that's why I'm sort of not on.
That's what I thought.
I really felt a lot of the energy going all through my body, and the release started even before we stated the commands. Throughout the session, it was just bubbling up, and there was a lot of yawning going on and tears running down. So I know that I've experienced a lot of clearing today. So thank you so very much. I am preparing to start the course, level 1, next weekend. So that's why I'm on the call today.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's the level 1 subcontract. Hi, Brigitte. Yes. Welcome. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else want to share? Don't have to if you don't want. Okay, Mona. I know your sister,
Hi.
don't I? I know your sister, or sisters, I think.
Hi, Nicolas. It's interesting, when you started the process, I felt it around my chest, you know, in my body, like around my heart area. Then when we went to the commands, it moved to the solar plexus and it felt quite intense. And then as we got to the end of doing the command, and when I said thank you, it shifted up to my throat. And now as everybody was sharing, it's moved to my third eye, and it's like still been buzzing in my third eye, but it seems to have settled down a bit now. So thank you for that. And maybe my question is that movement is there a right direction or a wrong direction for the movement? I'm not sure.
The energy will just find a natural pathway out. You don't have to worry about that. You just,
Okay.
divine healing is about surrendering to the feeling and intending what you desire, and then the higher self will do its thing. So you don't have to worry about how it comes out. The main thing is you put consciousness to it and you command it to leave, and then the universe does everything else.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's quite simple in the end, really. It's quite simple. Divine healing is like structured prayer. Okay. Really, that's what it's like. Okay. So you didn't realize how powerful you were, did you guys? But if you speak from the place that I am the divine, I'm God, watch what happens. I'm the small, tiny human being. I am the creator. The more you believe that truly, the more powerful it is. The more powerful it is. Okay. But we're just remembering who we are. All right. So the next bit here is a lot of the programming we carry. I reckon 70–80%. A lot of the issues you're working through come from our past lives where we had a different personality. So you are all brand new personalities this life. Our soul's eternal, but our personalities are new each time. So your soul with another or multiple personalities in the past got up to some sort of mischief, and you have chosen to process that stuff on its behalf in this life. A lot of it really isn't yours. Okay. All right. So you think about it, how much you think, I haven't had enough time to create all this karma. Well, this is the reason why, because someone else did. Okay. I mean, you have a choice, a free will choice to clear it. So what I want you to do is we're going to tune into some of the past lives, which have been triggered by your focusing on the state of being in the final state of flow, and we're going to clear them to make your life a little easier. So what I want you to do is close your eyes again. Focus. So Brigitte, what I want you to focus on is being in a state of flow in your life in the way you want it to be. It could be personally, it could be in your business or work. Don't worry about how to get there. Just breathing through your mouth, feel how that would be to be in that state of flow and let the universe work out how to create it for you. Okay. And our intention here is that all relevant past lives blocking this come up into your fields. The past life files open so they can be cleared. Do that for a few minutes, and then we'll do the command code for that. Okay, so you may be aware of little lines of light going behind you into the time-space continuum, back into those lifetimes. I've got about 5 of them going back to life, which are blocking the flow of my life. Just bring your consciousness to them. And just be okay with whatever comes up. I mean, you may feel other beings, they're called past life discarnates, come up who are associated with that situation. They may come up as part of the clearing process here. Now what I want you to do is open your eyes, and we have a command code here. We're going to use, this is from the past life death chart in Divine Healing Level 1. We're going to adjust this slightly, okay, to clear these past lives, because you may not have died in those past lives, but you may have, but so we'll just change deaths here to traumatic lifetimes, okay? Oops. It's not writing very well here. So you got to say this with feeling. Be present with the lifetimes that have come up. We'll say this first paragraph together, then we're going to pause. Okay, so microphone's on. All together. higher self, please
Just
clear,
please
heal,
clear,
Please
heal,
clear,
integrate
heal,
all these
and
files,
integrate
Integrate
all
all these
memories,
and
memories,
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 all
including
cellular
all
memories,
cellular
DNA,
memories,
or memories,
DNA,
and subatomic levels.
now ready to heal
I,
all traumatic
Heidi,
I'm
lifetimes,
now
so
ready
all
to
dimensions,
Hallam, am now ready
traumatic
to
now
heal
ready
realities,
traumatic
all levels
lifetimes
and
at all
dimensions,
levels
all
and
traumatic
dimensions,
all
lifetimes,
time
all
time
levels and
frames, realities,
dimensions,
frames,
and universes.
universes.
realities, and universes.
Lifetimes and all levels and dimensions.
and you feel and start to be released. Almost like a relief in the body as these things leave. Okay, the next one. I command that any soul fragment
I command that any
Any soul fragments held with these memories now return
welcome these soul fragments
in her
fully,
fully
whole, and
and
intact as
intact as
appropriate.
appropriate.
I
I
welcome
welcome
these
these
soul
soul
fragments back.
Soul fragments back.
So we pause there. So parts of us get broken off when we go through traumatic things in other lifetimes. So we're going to bring those soul fragments back so you become more whole. Last one. I command that the whole holographic
The whole
whole
holographic matrix be
prepared
repaired through
through
all layers and
and
levels,
levels,
and then
alignment,
brought into
integration,
full alignment,
alignment,
integration,
integration,
balance
and
to allow
balance to allow for wholeness
to emerge.
Allow the wholeness to emerge.
Okay. The holographic matrix is your entire reality. It's your physical and energetic bodies and the reality that your subcontract's creating around you. Okay. Let me say thank you.
Thank you.
And just embrace the shift. All right. And now we are going to integrate this. So I'm just going to stop sharing. It's easy to move the manual when it's not sharing, because it's sharing slows it down. Okay. I've got a lot of shuffling in the background from someone. If you could just mute whoever that's happening, that'd be great. Thanks. We are now going to do a nutrition chart because you've gone and disrupted the ego. Does everyone feel a bit clearer? Yeah, a bit lighter, or a lot lighter. Yeah. So now we've disrupted the ego quite seriously here. We are now going to infuse a specific frequency which your higher self wants you to have to integrate that, because the idea of divine healing is you disrupt the ego with grace and ease, clear stuff, and then you need to integrate so you can keep functioning. We don't want to dismantle ego so you become a big puddle on the ground emotionally. You've got to stay functional here. All right, so we're going to go and pick a frequency of energetic nutrition here. And because all physical things, should be able to see it now, all physical things have their origin in spirit, and there's a nutritional element in them. There's a frequency in them. So what we're going to do here is a nutrition chart. This is what we call an integration chart. So we're going to use this command code to infuse one of these, an amino acid, essential fatty acid, okay, or a mineral or a vitamin. And there are different numbers of them here, okay? You don't have to understand what they do. Your higher self will, with divine intelligence, will pick one. Okay, so it says choose a column A to D, but I just say I want you to close your eyes and just do exactly as I say. Pick a number 1 to 4. Whatever number drops in from your higher self is the correct number, and just write that down or remember it. Okay, so the highest, this is called number mapping, which is what we use in divine healing. We're asking the higher self to guide us to dismantle our ego. Okay. If you got 1, which is the same as A, okay, B is 2, C is 3, and D is 4. It's easy to number map than pick letters. If you got 1, which is A, close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 26. First number that comes in is the correct one. Anything after that is the ego messing with you. Okay. and note down what it is. If you got B, if you got 2, which is B, close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 20. Write that down. The higher itself has a lot of wisdom. It knows a lot better than us how to clear our ego. So you just got to let it get on with it. If you got C, which is 3, which is C, close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 22 and write it down. Note down what it is. If you got 4, which is D, which is vitamins, close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 27. Write it down. So you don't have to figure any of this out in divine healing. You just got to get out of the way, get the ego out of the way, and let the higher self guide you, and it'll all work out. Okay. All right. So take a look at your nutrient. I got this one here. I got capric acid, whatever that is. Okay. And then we're going to say, switch your mics on, and we're going to do this command code together. And your higher self's going to infuse it from above directly down your column of light. You feel it come down the center of you, and it's going to propagate through your body, radiate out in all directions. Okay. To integrate all the work you've just done, so you're more whole. All right. Microphones on, everybody. Repeat after me. Repeat with me. Higher self, please.
Higher self,
please
impose
perfect balance that is
perfect balance that is
clear and align all parts.
they are acquired,
Clear,
clear and align all paths for maximum assimilation, absorption and utilization.
Absorption and utilization.
Just like that. Close your eyes. Feel that going through. I feel this thing going through me. Feel the shift. Sometimes you might feel really tired because the body gets really fatigued holding on to these programs. I want to yawn and burp at the same time. And we say thank you. I'll feel the shift. And then we say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just give that a minute just to integrate. Okay, how's everyone feeling? You want to share how they're feeling after that compared to when we started? Okay, Heidi.
After doing that last one, I can really feel the tension and irritation that was in my right shoulder blade that was coming out when we were doing the first practice is really easing now. Thank you.
Program's gone. Who else would like to share how that was? And wave at me. You're not shy. You guys are very talkative earlier. I'm just want checking in to see how you're doing. Katie.
Get the right mute. Yeah, that time I felt it really strongly in my throat.
Yeah.
And I did feel a shift. And I got other under minerals. I chose other.
It just means something which is not written down there, but you get the right frequency, whatever you needed.
Yeah. Interesting. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Shannon, how are you doing?
I'm just really sleepy.
Yeah, that means there is a release of a lot of the energy that's been holding your programs in place. It's a good sign. Yeah. So you
The
guys,
only way to get my brain out of the way.
what's that?
The only way to get my brain out of the way, probably.
Well, that's a very important part of this process. Brain's not much use to us here. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I feel a release because
You've gone frozen, Deb. Can you guys hear her? Because I can't hear her. Okay. All right. Anyone else while Deb comes back? She'll come back in a minute.
Yeah.
Arunima?
Yeah, actually, I was feeling this pain in my throat and in my on my shoulders, and it went off completely. And I'm feeling so sleepy, like
I
it
feel
felt
my
like
eyes
for a
feel
moment
like
that I'll
I
go
could
off to
just
sleep.
close my eyes. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're back
Oh.
now. You froze.
Yeah, it says my internet's unstable. I felt a lot of release, but I do feel like sleepy, and I did have a little scratchy on my throat too.
Yeah, something coming out.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. Arunima, what else? Anything else you wanted to say there?
Yeah, just that, on the left side of the throat, I was feeling intense pain suddenly, like before. And then even my shoulders were paining suddenly, like that, pressure, and that all got released. And I'm also feeling very sleepy, like as though any moment I'll doze off.
Yeah, a lot of energy releases. Anybody else? Maria?
For me, all the processes together seem to be like in one sentence. I can see clearly now.
Yeah. Good. Okay, one more.
Yeah, I just feel like a bit more with vitality. I feel like I'd like to say 95%. I think a good night's sleep will do me good, and that's probably what I also need. I feel the vitality.
Yeah, good. Okay, so guys, that's a taste of divine healing. Doing a few charts from the manual. These are more general charts we can do. There are much more complex, specific ones we do during the training. So when we run the training for 4 days, we basically go through 26 charts in the manual. So you have basically a 4-day healing intensive. So you receive a lot of healing. This is the manual. It's all about, wait for it to come up. This is all about empowering yourself here. Okay. And it's made up of 26 charts here. And today we did the following. We did interferences, main low frequency programs, past life, traumatic past lives. I've changed this chart a little bit. And we did nutrition. Okay, so we basically, as a group, when we run this training, we basically move through the charts in a very specific order. Might jump down here, here, it moves all over the place. So you get to use all the charts. And the way it works is that as a whole, the group has a theme, and your combined higher selves work out how to go through the manual. It's different every time. And it's taught by me explaining a chart. And then if it's a simple chart, like the ones we're doing, we just do it as a group. If it's a more complex one, I demonstrate, and then you go into breakout rooms in Zoom, and you give and receive the treatment with your partner in complete privacy. And then I come around, and the assistants come around. If you have any questions, we just make sure you're doing okay. And that goes on for 4 days, and you come out completely different, a lot lighter. That's what the training does. And so, yeah, you'll feel a lot clearer, and so you will have a tool to seriously peel your ego onion, and that of others if you're interested in using it for others. So, and this transmission is very, very powerful, to the point, as I said earlier, where sometimes people say, I can't remember actually what I worked on. And I say, good, you're not meant to. Okay, it's just gone, as if it was never there. You get to get on with life. All right. So that's how the actual manual works. Any questions on the process? Okay, Heidi.
So you mentioned earlier there are 5 levels, and we're talking about obviously level 1's where you come in. What's the difference between the 5 levels, and is level 1 really just for working on yourself or working on yourself on specific issues? What's the difference between the 5, please?
Level 1 is about empowerment. So you can learn to use the manual to break out of the stuckness the ego has got you in. When you've had about an hour or so of this, imagine doing this for 4 days. You will change radically. Second level is about preparing the body for low frequency energies so that you can embody divinity. Third level is about self-love. Fourth level is about connecting to cosmic consciousness. Fifth level is dealing with deep shadow stuff, deep separation, very deep separation programs, all the nasty stuff we get on Earth that affects us. Other 5 levels, and they can all be used on yourself and on others. Originally, Amira thought, and the others thought there was only going to be 1 level, and then once they started teaching it, or the second level started channeling over a year, then the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th. So basically, each is an increasingly powerful transmission. So you rise in frequency, and if you do more than 1 level, they work together as an entire stack of manuals, stack of transmissions. And so your higher self and eventually a healing team will use whatever combination is optimal for you or your client to grow. Okay, so this is your get out of jail emotional kit. That's what this thing is. It's very, very powerful. Okay, extremely powerful. Okay, and so that you can get into the flow of your life and get what you truly desire. That's what it's for. Okay. Any other questions? No. So if you are interested in learning this, here's how you can go about this. Amira and I were really looking for a powerful tool that would help us grow. So basically what it does in summary is opens you to grace so you can clear your programs really fast, reconnect to spirit, come into self-empowerment and become conscious. She tells me not to say enlightenment, so I need to change that. Okay. And what it will do, enable you to do, is it will help you make your life happen, moving from the dream or perpetual optimism to actually things actually happening. And it helps you bring consciousness and transform the fundamental underlying program that's creating your life the way it is at the moment. A lot of it initially we don't like, which is normal. Turns your dreams into reality. So you can live your vision, what your soul really wants to do. Heal very deeply and completely and easily. So reconnect to your true soul essence and tap into your gifts and qualities. Life can become more loving, joyful, fun, and aliveness. Create more flow and become the master of your life, which basically means you're creating your reality much more gracefully, not master over anyone else. So you become in charge. So the next one we're teaching is the 16th and 19th of June, 2023. The timing is designed to go from California across to India. Sometimes we get to Australia. So it's 12:30 to 8:30 UK time. So that's probably about 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, so that goes from 5 p.m. to about 1 a.m. in India. 7:30 a.m. Eastern starts, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. People used to fly to England for it, so we went on Zoom. So it's a bit easier to get up in California than fly all the way to England. 1:30 p.m. in Europe. So to secure a place, that's a deposit of £193, about $225 US. The total fee, including the deposit, is £571 or $660 US. So the cost of the training is about equivalent to about 5.5 hours of sessions time, really. So it's a deal really, because you invest in training, you use it forever. Okay. If you want to find out more, go to the divinehealingtraining.com. Yeah, that gives you all the detail of the training. All right. Okay. So there it is, people. It's a gift from God, from Source, if you're interested. So any other questions anyone has about it? Okay. Brigitte?
Only if the course will be offered more than once per year, or is June the only available slot this year?
It runs in spring, summer, and autumn. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? No other questions. All right. Well, thanks for coming, guys, and engaging. Hope that was helpful.
Thank you so much.
We'll get the video out to you probably early next week. It'll be emailed out to you. So it'll have the same level of power as we did now. So if you want to clear more stuff, just watch it again. But don't do it in the car or anything like that. You need to be in a sacred space with no one interrupting you, because it is very strong. Okay. Yeah, it was fun. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Someone's messaged me here. Okay, just leaving. Okay. All right. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Sorry. I'm making my face.